The Day of the Jackal TV series, streaming on Peacock, gets us to root for the UK's MI6 intelligence service by portraying the assassin they're hunting, who calls himself the Jackal, as a contemptible but rather bland killing machine. He's not even a little bit likable, yet he has the nerve to allege a false moral equivalence between himself, an assassin who kills people for money, and the protagonist, an MI6 agent who occasionally has to kill people to protect her country. The Jackal talks about the false moral equivalence in the last episode of Season 1. For most of the season, though, he's not talkative. Why talk to people when you can just kill them whenever they become insufferable, which makes him insufferable? That's the big irony. The show sets up an intriguing premise for his character. He's the world's deadliest and most accurate sniper. He can hit a moving target from 3,800 meters, which is about 2.36 miles. And so this insufferable antagonist is gifted. He can also speak multiple languages and is a master of disguise. He's become filthy rich over the years by plying his cursed trade. I was so disappointed when he failed to meet his end at the end of Season 1. The show has been renewed for a second season, with Eddie Redmayne returning as the Jackal. He performs the role as a bland psychopath who doesn't take excessive pride in his sniper capabilities, and he's ruthlessly efficient. He's built a secret room in his mansion where he keeps the fake passports and disguises and such, and this room is so neatly organized we realize he's a Type A achievement-oriented sniper. His employer might refuse to pay up after the victim is killed, and there's no way to enforce that type of employment contract. So snipers have a hard life. It helps to be married to literally the stupidest woman on the planet. He's a sniper who kills people for money, so she would have to be an idiot to marry the guy. Lashana Lynch plays the MI6 agent, Bianca Pullman. She's not pure of heart. The ends often justify the means within MI6, as depicted on the show, but later the moral compromises become too great for her to stomach. It's the last episode of Season 1. She and her colleague have a clear shot at the Jackal. They have orders to take him out, but she wants to take him alive. The performance by Lashana Lynch in Season 1 was building up to this moment, and it's not a surprise. Hopefully they can revive her for Season 2. There must be a reason why she and her colleague walked in there without body armor or any type of backup. The series is improbable at times. In the age of social media and the 24-hour news cycle, the Jackal should be recognized everywhere he goes. But often he just walks around without a disguise, and when he's walking around he looks furtively in either direction like, do they recognize me? For an assassin trying to be anonymous, he keeps a high profile as well, living in a flashy villa overlooking the ocean. And his victims make themselves easy targets for the most part, sitting by the window where he can get a clear shot at them, that sort of thing. Charles Dance, who played Tywin Lannister on Game of Thrones, has a small role as a billionaire who hires the Jackal. He's on screen for less than 5 minutes in Season 1, but he has entertaining dialogue about the Roman Empire. What else would a billionaire be talking about? This series isn't the best show about the British intelligence services on TV right now. That would be Slow Horses on Apple TV+, which I recommend over The Day of the Jackal. However, I still recommend Day of the Jackal, especially if you want to watch a show about British intelligence and don't want to be overwhelmed by a show that's just so smart it almost defies description. That's Slow Horses. But if you want to veg out with a show about British intelligence and you don't want to have to pay close attention, Day of the Jackal might be your cup of tea. By now, we've heard that President Trump has announced a 100% tariff on movies coming into the United States that were produced in foreign lands. For years, there's been an outflow of jobs from the Los Angeles area as film and TV production moves out of California and even out of competing states such as Georgia, which offers more favorable tax incentives than California. Some productions move out of the U.S. altogether. Canada, Europe, and Australia, for example, offer incentives as well as reduced labor costs, which is why so many movies and shows are now filmed abroad, and even the post-production is done abroad. Just 2 years ago, in 2023, we had strikes by writers and actors that shut down film and TV production in Hollywood for half a year. Although the writers and actors unions negotiated new contracts, it seems that the studios still wanted to reduce their labor costs, and so productions continued to leave California and the United States. That decision worked out well for the studios. Their profits are up. And the U.S. film industry has a trade surplus with the rest of the world, but this is measured by revenue, which includes ticket sales, DVD sales, licensing deals, etc. On the streaming platforms, revenue is generated through subscriptions and ad revenue, etc. But we can examine a different metric. For example, the amount of production spend that goes to foreign nations versus the United States, in which case a trade surplus could be meaningless if the foreign nation's GDP is comparatively a lot smaller. And if we look at the labor spend only, the trade surplus could be meaningless if it continues to put Americans out of work. The stock market currently is aligned with how the studios measure profits, through ticket sales, DVD sales, licensing deals, streaming subscriptions, ad revenue, etc. The White House issued a statement the day after President Trump's announcement, saying that the studios should contact the White House to offer their take on the impact of a movie tariff. And so there will be lots of discussion, and I don't think that the studios will be damaged by the tariff, regardless of how it's implemented. I'm more concerned about unemployed or underemployed production professionals in Hollywood who can't go abroad to work on film productions because it's not feasible for them. The movie tariff, if and when it's implemented, probably will create more jobs in the film industry for American workers. Tariffs are supposed to have that effect. If for some reason the movie industry doesn't respond well to a tariff, it will continue to be hard going for production professionals. I guess they could move abroad permanently where they can find a steady stream of employment on American productions, but then they would have to compete with citizens of those nations who are already there. And the purpose of those governments providing incentives is to employ their citizens, not U.S. citizens. There were questions about how the tariff would be implemented. Probably the cost would be passed on to consumers through higher ticket prices or higher subscription fees. Or the studios could just bring the productions back to America, and potentially there would be no major impact on consumers. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, leave a like and don't forget to subscribe.